Hello! Back with the Dumpster Fire Dialogues.
Yes.
Episode
10.
10. So, just finished up Kentucky class with more laggy internets.
Yeah.
But we got it done.
We did.
Got the arm bars in.
Zombies.
It's a great group.
Oh, yeah.
I love working with them. I met them probably like 7 years ago.
I was going to say, I know you guys have known him for like quite a long time.
Yeah. Like, known them, worked with them, been at courses with them and stuff. And like, we started hanging out and working together. So, great crew. Kentucky crew. Kentucky fam.
Yeah. They're super cool to like, they're super cool to work with. And like, they pick up on stuff super fast.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, that's always sort of something I'm surprised about with online anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, it worked. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's proof of concept like that some things out of COVID actually were okay.
yeah. That was the thing. It was like, I first did any type of online anything during COVID. And I was like, there's no fucking way. I was like, this is hopeful or, wishful thinking.
People don't learn this way.
Yeah. But then it's like, I had like 10 people on an online class and we're all having a good time doing stuff. And we're like, fuck yeah. During the worst time of everyone's life, probably.
Yeah, right.
So, definitely cut my chops there.
Yeah.
I've taken a few like online communication courses to help with that too. So that shit's hard. Communicating online is harder because we're doing it right now. So
I was gonna say, like, doing it in this context is honestly a little bit easier. You're showing very finite skills, and typically you're there. Like, if somebody needs help, you're there to like physically guide them through it.
it's definitely a lot easier if I can like hands-on be like, no, here, and like, or show them again, or like, because we have finite angles, we have finite time, everything. It's constraint-based jiu-jitsu in a way,
Yes.
just based on
Souter
the
just died inside.
constraints that I have.
I don't know you, dude. I've listened to a lot of your stuff, and I think some of it is really cool. So no hate there.
But yeah, there's just a lot of memes going around right now.
Hell yeah, for sure. And especially given what we were talking about almost all weekend. So Eli and I was in town and did a seminar at Endeavor, which I didn't get to go to, but I got probably one of the cooler experiences of hanging with Aaron, you, Sean Doherty, and Eli.
That was so
And,
cool.
we did a couple of shows for other things for KCC, really.
It was cool to have Doc come down and hang.
Yeah, speaking of, we got the
We got
Doc
the
bar back here.
bro. The thing is sick. It fired me up before class.
Yeah, got my shoulders nice and loose, like kind of opened up my chest and ribs.
I had the singular version when my shoulder was fucked up, and that helped a lot.
Yeah,
That
I got
thing,
that back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we need it.
But that thing is gnarly. Like the full bar.
Yeah. Oh, and I put it out there on my stories, but there will be a tutorial on how to build.
Yeah.
So this one's kind of custom built for my size, but it honestly will work for anybody.
Works for me.
Yeah.
It'll get the job done.
So you'll see in a video, like you see Sean Doherty use it, and me, his channel's like, or his Instagram feed specifically is like saturated with his recovery techniques, which if you don't know anything about Sean Doherty, he probably shouldn't be able to move at all.
But it also moves better than 90% of the population at the same time.
I was going to say, especially even people that are younger than him and don't have any disabilities, it's pretty crazy how efficient his movement is. The depth of his knowledge of like dealing with, handling, and overcoming injuries is incredible.
Yeah. But he's also an autodidact in that regard. He's like, I have this problem, gotta figure it out.
Yeah,
It's very it's a unique problem, so I gotta have a unique solution. And he does have a unique solution for it that works.
Yeah. So I'll try and make the dock bar
Dock
a
bar.
little permanent fixture in the background, as long as I'm not using it,
Yeah.
which I'll probably use it almost every day.
A very functional piece of art.
Yeah, for sure.
An attainable piece.
Yeah, this was made in our studio area for $50.
Yeah.
And time.
Big
Worth
Fitness.
the time.
Big Fitness doesn't want you to know that. They want you to think everything costs $8,000 fucking dollars.
Yeah, for real. I mean, if you look at fitness stuff like both of us do, you've probably seen that like handle with like a wire and like a minimal weight attached to the end. You can literally build that same thing with a basketball net and PVC parts. And I know because I saw Sean Doherty's original version from like 8 years ago.
Like, I experienced it.
Yeah. He was hawking out of the back of the van. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Now look at it.
Yeah.
With improved plastic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he is super pumped about the plastic, so you'll probably see that with this type of gray PVC is, for some reason, for the application it has, it's much smoother. So it's got a much like more natural like roll to it.
Yeah, it was very smooth and clean.
Smooth,
clean.
But yeah, no, this is an amazing piece of functional equipment.
Yeah, highly recommend building one.
Yeah, we'll put the tutorial out on our channel. I'll edit it within the next week, so hopefully it'll be out by the end of this week. So it's probably like the 14th.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But that's a perfect addition to the background too.
Yeah, for sure. I may put the OG one. Actually, I'll just go get the OG one and put it back there.
Yeah. Fits perfectly.
Back. There you go. Here's what it does and how it works. This is the OG. I didn't know this when he gave it to me. This is the first prototype he ever made.
Yeah.
This is one of the ways you helped rehab part of your shoulder.
Yeah, about the middle of last year, I separated my shoulder last summer. I was Grammy rolling and I spiked myself onto my own shoulder and separated it. Went into shock almost immediately and wanted to die.
Yeah, you did. It's
everyone was there and was like, "Oh shit, Cheney's dead."
You stopped communicating completely, like you just blank face.
There was nothing I could do.
Yeah.
I was like, I was starting to my vision was going, and I was like, I tried to stand up and I was like about to throw up, and I was like, shit, this is bad. There's something interesting of being so aware during a shock episode. Yeah. It's almost like being in a bubble or something, because I knew exactly what was happening, even though I was non-responsive.
Yeah,
I was just literally in my head, just fuck.
Oh no!
It was pure stream of consciousness, inner monologue, God damn it! I bet you wonder how I got myself here. Yeah, it was totally my fault. But this did totally help me, for sure.
It's such a weird. At first you see it and you're like, that won't do anything, and they're like,
until you get a hold of it. As a self-educated personal trainer, I'm not smart enough to tell you what's going on with it, but it works.
Yeah, it absolutely works. So I'll see if I can hang it. Right.
Yeah.
Nope, that ain't gonna work right now.
There's something maybe hanging on the limb of that one.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. So functional art.
OG single hand prototype.
Yeah, that one's money.
Doc calls that one the Fibonacci.
Yep. Nice. There's a lot of substance here. We,
yeah.
Can definitely make something out of this.
Oh, yeah.
Fibonacci, nice.
Yeah.
But I feel like there hasn't been too many crazy additions to the fitness world aside from the Bosu ball a couple years ago.
Yeah.
David
Weck?
David Weck, yeah. And that's where Sean models a lot of stuff off of.
I know, I have a Bosu ball, and I use it.
I started doing a lot of strength training when I was 13, when I started wrestling and doing all this shit. My coaches were personal trainers and getting run through that, but they were getting run through a lot of functional training shit. And that was when the Bosu had just come onto the market. There's a lot of just functional training. Everything, like everything had some sort of like different tempo or like some sort of like deceleration aspect that like, which was massive for my like sports development as a kid, like because I was clumsy as shit, so like that helped a lot. But a lot of it was Bosu balls, stability balls, medicine balls, unstable shit. Yeah,
movement.
Yep.
Yeah,
all sorts of like, again, like deceleration drilling after movements and things, like stuff that definitely like helped me develop athleticism.
Yeah,
because everyone's like, oh, Janie does crazy stuff. I'm like, because I trained it. I trained my ass off doing it. Like, it's like I'm not like a natural athlete. Like, it's trained.
well, it's like people are like, you don't look like you can just train forever. I'm like, yeah, that's a learned thing.
Yeah.
Like it's literally just like it's because one day I was like, I'm tired of not having any energy and not doing anything. And it's like, I developed a level of endurance that's never left.
Yeah.
Like once I dip down, if I come back up, it comes back.
Yeah. And it comes back quicker because you have it conditioned already. Like it's there. And you have like the mental idea of like, oh, I know when I get past this, it turns into that and like this.
Yep. I know what it takes mentally to get to a certain point and then like push beyond it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's a very interesting thing. Like, I don't think I don't think, oh, I know my body can do this. Like, I know where I'm like, all right, I got to test myself to see where I'm at. And then I got to work back to what I know I can do. Like, as opposed to being like, I used to be able to do this, I got to be able to do it. And like trying to die. Nope.
Yeah. I lived in the red line for a long time. And it's like, that's not it either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that changes day to day, year to year, you know, age per age, all that shit. Like, it changes a lot. Injuries accumulate, life accumulates, stress accumulates.
Yeah.
And it makes you do things differently.
That's kind of interesting. So, have you ever looked at, I just blanked out, the David Grossman stuff where he talks about conditioned black? So he has this psychological ideology that like conditioned red is like high alert and conditioned black is where you shut down. And he has like heart rates associated with this stuff. And I don't know Dave Grossman. Like, I've read his stuff like On Combat, On Killing. Like, they're really, from like a psychological standpoint, they're like amazing because it talks about how Killing and how Combat, two different books, affects you from a psychological standpoint.
Yeah.
And he like takes stories and breaks them down and like stuff like that. And they've been amazing for me to like kind of formulate some good ideas about how to like help people like mentally navigate like violence, because it's a part of my job.
Yeah.
So I have to coach and like teach and like help people navigate like a violent, not like to death, although we do see people pass and we may have to do CPR and stuff like that. Like, I've had to do CPR 3 separate times, and I work in a hospital. And I'm not a medical professional.
Right.
So it's like,
so you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, like the first time I did it, I was like, well, like literally the
where the fuck is everybody?
Stupid thought that everybody has. I'm like, I'll never have to do this. I had that thought like,
you're like
literally a month before, and I walk up on a situation and somebody's like, this person needs help. Like, I was engrossed in a completely other situation, like that was violent. Like, it had been violent, and there was a potential for more violence with another part of them. And I was like, okay, like, cool. Like, I'm focused on that. And like, as I'm walking towards more of that, somebody's like, hey, this person needs help like right now. And it was like a very dire situation. Like, just not good. Like, I can't really dive into detail because of the nature of it.
Yeah.
It was bad. Like, it was like as bad as you could get without somebody being like shot 20 times.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like, okay. And like, I was with a peer from another agency, and they're like, well, we should do CPR. And I was like, okay.
You're like fresh in the head.
I was like, literally like, okay, that's a good idea. And that's what we did.
Yeah. But in that moment, it's kind of like, yep. And then you do it. And like later on, you're like, holy fuck. Like,
yeah. But anyways, like that, dealing with like that, like death, that navigating violence and stuff like that, Grossman has some like great ideas, like great concepts to like help you kind of navigate and like deal with them, like in incident, post incident, like pre-incident even. But one of the things that was interesting is when he's talking about like attaching things to heart rate, a group called Force Science, which is a private like research institute, did a study about where elite athletes like fighters, motocross racers, like all that stuff, operate from a heart rate perspective. And typically those elite people operate in what David Grossman calls the shutdown point. But that's not true. Typically, if you are trained enough and you go into what he would consider condition black, if you are trained enough and you are attuned to that area, you are in a flow state.
Yeah.
So you're operating at a super high heart rate. You're seeing things. You're not reacting. You're just navigating the situation. It would be akin to like you rolling with like a brand new white belt. You're not like, yeah, they can do some weird stuff, but like you feel their body, you feel their mechanics. Your heart rate's probably not super high. Like
it's almost like I could do it asleep. Like
yeah.
And I do it sometimes at 6 a.m. class when I'm so tired. I'm just like,
awake, yeah.
I'm hurting.
Yeah.
But like that's sometimes the best time to roll, in my opinion. It's like, gotta see what it's like. Like, got some motherfucker breaks in 4 a.m. Like, that's how it's gonna be. You're ripping out of bed. Time to go.
Yeah. But it's also, I mean, you can kind of be in that unconscious state, and because of the level of your experience and your exposure to violence, even in the controlled training setting or in a competition setting, you have a flow state.
Oh yeah.
Like, now I understand there's like variations like at your level, but like once you're ready, like, and you go out on the mats, like your heart rate may be elevated, but it's not like you forget your training.
No, it's like, and then I wouldn't quite equate it to tunnel vision, but it's like it's hyper focus onto what's in front of me.
Yeah.
Because I know that's, I know, one, that's the number one threat of what's happening. Two, it's like, I don't need to worry about all the other shit. So it's like, just deal with the task at hand. That's why I like jiu-jitsu and fighting and stuff so much. It's like, you can get so wrapped up in your head about tomorrow and fucking yesterday and fucking 20 minutes ago, and you said something awkward in the lobby, and you're like, ah, fuck. But then you're rolling, you're like, all right, I gotta focus on this dude not choking me.
My arm or
it's like
my heel or
you know, like you can be thinking about something, your arm's in a precarious position, you're like, oh fuck, like, you know. So like, it does require 100% brain access, or you know, a good portion of it. But yeah, like, I trained cutting weight, sleep right, all these like conditions, not necessarily because they were like, oh, I'm gonna do this. It was like that was just the circumstances, but like, done it. Like, you know, all the weight cuttings and the fucking whatever. It's like,
you've put yourself through like a physiological and mental like ringer to the point where
also at an age where I could handle it.
Like
I feel like the older you get, the harder that gets. Like, you like have to sleep, you have to be eating properly to stay on top of your shit. You're like 20, you can get away with fucking murder. Like,
the elasticity of your body and your brain is much higher. I mean, I for sure had like either like horrible sprains and like shit like that when I was young, and I would just take some Advil and like fucking sleep it off.
I found a picture of my foot the other day from like 10 years ago. Duct tape, athletic tape from fucking heel to toe, like just binding my foot together just because it was shredded. And I was like, gotta train.
Gotta go to training.
But yeah. But at the same time, I wouldn't take it back. I also wouldn't tell someone else to do it though.
I would not tell anybody to do like a quarter of the things that I've done.
I mean, ask Sean, ask anyone that I have came up with. It's like, that was dumb, but we're tough. Like,
real tough.
If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. That was the case. But look at us now. Look at the hole in Sean's knee.
That fucking hole is real. I would show you.
hate
but
skin infections. They're horrendous.
That's
Like,
that was actually a blood infection. It's
even worse.
It's the real deal.
Even worse.
In there.
Getting that shit out is a problem.
Yeah.
Tough break. Fuck.
Shit.
I'm gonna have the good old Civil War saw out there.
Yeah. See.
Pipe a stick. Feed it to the dogs.
Whiskey into it.
Yeah, I've had about a one of everything with skin infections.
Yeah.
2 ringworms, 1 impetigo, 1 staph. I think that's it.
I've had ringworm, impetigo. I mean, I have staph for sure. I just did a when and where. Who knows?
But you clean yourself. Like,
Yeah, I do.
it's the people who like get off work from the hospital and go home and like chill for 8 hours and go to sleep and then get up and go to the gym and then it's like, oh shit, what is this? Oh shit, they have to take my arm. Pause.
Yeah,
I gotta piss.
go for it. He doesn't like the Arnold Palmers.
I don't know, because I drank the Arnold Palmer brand Arnold Palmer drinks a lot in high school. So like, if it's not that and it's just lemonade, a haphazard mixture of lemonade and tea, I'm not very happy about it. It needs to be Arnie Palmer.
Garbage.
So like, everyone takes their stab at it respectfully. I get it, but I want the Arnold Palmer.
It's good.
My friend and I filled up his trunk, his Trans Am trunk, with Arnold Palmer cans over a summer. Our goal was to make some sort of statue out of it, but his dad cleaned out the cans like right before we could get to it. So like, we're like, had an idea. We're like, all right, let's go and do it.
We're gonna do that.
We popped the trunk, cans are gone.
Oh no.
Fuck. Could have been sick.
Ruined.
Could have been an anatomically correct something. I don't know.
Arnold Palmer.
Maybe that would, yeah.
Correct. Arnold
Probably
Palmer.
would have been a good idea. That would have been good. But yeah, I don't know. The original Twisted Tea reminds me more of Brisk iced tea,
Yeah.
which were also delicious.
They were. They're good.
They still make that shit.
They make almost. Yeah. Do they still make the Arnold Palmers? Arizona?
I don't know. I've seen.
I don't really go inside gas stations that much, so I got nothing.
I go into this one gas station by my house all the time, and they have all sorts of shit, so I have to look. But been working on the fireman's carry. What do you think of it?
I like it.
Yeah,
It's once I get a better feel for it, I think it'll be good.
it takes time, but once you hit it, you're like, never going back.
I've hit it a few times. There's a couple people, like, obviously, like that one day, like the day that I the actual day that I had to train this week. Like, I work a lot. But yeah, like,
And I don't have a real job, so
that's not true. He works a lot.
I'm busy, but
Different.
yeah, they are different.
Yeah, that's no, I like the like series you built. Like,
You see the connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm not
Absolutely.
making it up in my head.
No.
I'm not like, guys, it's
like,
there.
you've essentially, like, giving us like the answer code, and like done it in like a constrained way, like where we're like slowly introduced to these pieces that it's like I like feel the connection, and I've had some of the pieces, but now like I'm connecting it back to that whole puzzle. I'm like, I'm an idiot. Everybody has that moment. Like,
I equate all that shit into jiu-jitsu. It's like,
yeah,
this is the map you haven't unlocked yet.
Yeah.
You walk up to the fucking wall, you can see that there's a thing to do there, and you can't access it. Like,
Yeah.
and then a certain day you do a certain thing, and then like that makes you access the next piece. Your brain expands. You make the synapses fire and all that shit, and it starts to happen.
yeah.
Like, you hit clean ones. Like, Mike Daniels was there earlier, and he was like hitting some funky ones, and he like finally got some clean ones, and
Yeah.
it just takes a sec.
Yeah.
It unlocked that part of your brain.
I mean, I'm sure even at your experience level, you have moments you're like, fuck.
Oh, every day. Yeah. I was like watching like Sean's black belt ego video, and it's kind of like, even like with technical stuff, it's like you have the guy that you've listened to for 10 years, and then they say the thing on that day, and it makes sense. You're like, God damn it. Like, or you just, someone you see, semi-regularly, like Eli. Like when I see Eli, he like says something that's so like concise and boiled down to a certain point. I'm like, fucking obviously, like, yeah, that is that. And I've been doing it, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Then he says the thing, and it makes the connection, and it grows.
And what's funny is like, so Sean has like that video, that little short that I made out of the longer talk we had about killing your ego.
Yeah.
Actually, I just titled that one, Ego, Let's Talk. And like, it's funny, like I'm not there yet, but like I've been in that situation in other areas of my life. I'm like, I've arrived. No, the fuck you haven't. Like, you haven't arrived. Like, you're at another point. It's another learning opportunity. Like, now you're at this point, but that's just more learning.
But I mean, like when you're playing Pokemon games, like you have a Charmander, you feel sick when you have a Charmeleon.
Yeah.
But then like you don't know what a Charizard is yet. So I'm like, it's like wait until you get to that next fucking level, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's I don't know, skill scaling.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just in that area of your life. Like, the more mature, the more experience you have, and how you deal with that experience too, is also like an important thing. Like, there are people that get amazing experiences thrown at them, and they're like, meh. And you're like, meh.
Yeah. You're like, fucking idiot.
Like, you're like, dude, do the thing.
You just pull the trigger. You got it.
Like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
That is, it's one of those interesting areas of life. Like you said, somebody will say something like on a topic. Funnily enough, Sean is always like, I don't think what we were saying really matters. But like, yet again, the video you just talked about, like, you've known him forever, and he said that, and you're like, oh yeah. Like, that is,
well, yeah, no, like, I agree. Yeah, it's like I agree, and it's like and actually, someone that I worked with in a seminar in LA, like, texted me on that thread and was like, "That's fucking true." Like,
yeah.
It's like it does resonate with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think he realizes that he resonates with people, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
So when he watches this, he can be like, "I'm gonna hit you in the face," and I'll be like, "Yeah, what's new?"
Fucker.
If you know, you know.
You've all known each other a long time.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that kind of thing, like, someone you know says it, or someone you don't know says it, and sometimes those things just click. Like,
well, that's like with Sean Doherty. It's like someone was like, how'd you get, I'm trying to think of like how it like was set up, like no, it's like when you got good, or like when you learned, but like when did you start doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's just like, again, certain people who like tie it all together. It's like I equate it to like having a 10-year project on my desk of paperwork that I'm like not sure what to do with yet. Then Sean came in and it's like, do this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing.
Yeah.
It'll tie it all together. And I was like, oh fuck. And then it was like a light bulb moment that again tied into like 10,000 areas in my brain and tied up a ton of loose ends. But I've had 10 years of people telling me what leg locks were about and shit.
Yeah.
But I'm still losing by them, and I'm still not hitting them. So what the fuck? Then have certain experiences, and then it goes to not being hit with them and then winning by them. So like almost instantly too.
Yeah.
Within a week's time.
Yeah.
It happened. Yeah.
Well, that's like, what is it? Mia saying to you, like, I have 7 years to catch up on, but Mia's so skilled. Like, I don't know that it's going to take 7 years for Mia to catch up to leg locks.
But that's like the point of training. That's the point of training on like those mindless days. to make the learning curve tighter, or
Right.
you're like, oh, man, what the fuck am I doing here? I feel like shit, blah blah blah. That'll pay off if you ever have a layoff or like time off, an injury, whatever. Like that'll shorten the curve coming back.
Yeah.
And it makes a humongous difference.
Yeah. I just like being around people that have like, because I'm older, like the people that are higher belts typically like identify with my personality better because I'm just a little bit older. Like we talk, and like my experience lies outside of training, but I've been training and doing stuff, just not jiu-jitsu. So it's like that commonality of like, yeah, like it all kind of cycles back around to, like you said, like you'll shorten the curve. Like if there's time off, you'll have time to think about it. Or like Aaron said, I have all these like weird touch points that like they'll like fire for me. Like I'll think about something like, oh dude, I could have done this. And then I'll be like, the next time I see something like that, I'm like, I'm doing that. Like I'm not gonna let this happen again. Like,
well, yeah, I think that's a lot of like quick differences. Or if you do make a pretty like abrupt change in your game, and you're like, damn, you're not letting that happen anymore. It's because you're like, no more, motherfucker. Like,
yeah.
And that's what it was like with me with leg locks. Like, I could pass guard, I could wrestle, I could sweep people when I needed to, and like do all these things. But like if someone snagged on my leg, I was in trouble.
Yeah,
it was a problem. And that was just a lack of coaching and shit at the time. But that's a different podcast. But like, yeah, it was just not touched on, and it was like the beginning of people doing leg locks. Like it's very popular now, and like very part of the meta and all that shit. But like that was the beginning of it, and that was me being like, hey, I need some shit. I need help. Like,
I need these tools. Like,
yeah. And again, lack of coaching kicks in. You're like, I need help, and it's like, nope. All right, fuck me then. Like, so, but then other circumstances, kick in, and life happens, and that gym explodes, and then you're on the quest, which is kind of an interesting aspect to it. It's like, do you stop and pursue fucking pickleball, or like, I'm like, no, I'm still curious about leg locks. I still would like to fix this hole in what I would consider my personality. Like, damn, you caught leg locks? That sucks. Like, but then you talk to 90% of the population, like, what's a leg lock? And I'm like, this huge thing that keeps me up at night. It's only the thing that dominates my thoughts.
What is a leg lock?
Yeah.
I'm having a fucking existential crisis about leg locks. And he's like, do you need help, sir? Get away from me.
That's like part of the maturation process, and just growing up. It's like I would flip out over shit like that, like when I was like 22.
Yeah.
I'm like, this motherfucker did this, I did this, blah blah. Up at 3 a.m. flipping out. Now I'm like, fucking got me. Tomorrow's a new day. Fucking
yeah.
So it's just, but again, it's an environmental thing as well. Like the environment we were in bred that type of like, oh fuck, like.
Yeah, you were. And like I said, I didn't know you then. I knew somebody in that orbit and worked with them, and like that high strung like about like competition jiu-jitsu. It was like,
well, not even just that, but just like existence. Like everything was like, oh, this motherfucker in the street. It's a problem. Or like you go to B-dubs, they're there watching fights, it's a fucking problem. Like everything was a problem. And then you get out of shit like that, and you're like, oh, life's not like that. Like,
it's really not.
You're like, oh, everyone's hanging out, and like, oh, okay. So like there's an adjustment period with that as well. My biggest issue was that it was like during my like, as a child, I was like it was during like my formative years that I was introduced to these like interesting, scrupulous characters. Like, but at the same time, like I had a very strong like upbringing. Like my family is very good and solid, so I had the skill of discernment to be like, or
like, I don't know that I don't agree with that.
Yeah. No, I credit like my family and shit a lot to like giving me the skills to be like, wait a minute, like
that's definitely saved me. Like, is my parents being like, yeah, listen to what somebody says and then do your own research.
Yeah.
And then be discerning even about what they're saying. Like,
yeah. And then like everybody, unfortunately, like even like the people who have like the best intentions and all this shit, it's like those are the people I'm gonna look at twice or 3 times or whatever. Because I, gotten burned by some fucking rough characters.
yeah. It's that quote, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
That's a great
That's how we got Jurassic Park, so you know how that turned out.
Yeah.
Yep. It's Twisted Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's Taco Tuesday and Twisted. It's Twisted Taco
We had some
Tuesday.
delicious tacos.
They're very good. There's like, I don't know, dude. You can't beat home white people taco night.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It almost like stands in its own classification because like it's not tacos. Like,
It's not.
so it's like it's almost its own, it's its own amoebic thing. Like, but it's delicious.
It is delicious. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey. Tetris.
Yeah, there we go.
It. I think we need a fire barrel. I think that'd be a sick addition. Like if we had a 55-gallon drum burning.
The hobo barrel.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
The hobo hearth, if you will.
I personally think of it as the barrel the guys in Rocky sing over. Take it back. Do 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 do. They're over the fire barrel, they fucking let it rip, and then like he's walking through the city.
Yeah.
That's what I think of it as. I'm like, you mean the singing barrel?
The Philly fire barrel?
Yeah.
Like, that's where great music's made.
Yeah. You get the fire barrel going. You get some fucking culture. I don't know. I feel like Philly's a lot different than it was back then. I drove through a couple years ago.
Yeah. 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 I mean, you know what's funny is I've been to a lot of places in PA. Philly is not one of them, surprisingly.
You can skip it.
Yeah, I don't think I need to go there.
I wouldn't like stop. I wouldn't slow down.
Yeah. Like drive a little faster maybe.
You go past like K&A. You're like,
No.
I was driving to Trials when I went to Trials in New Jersey. New Jersey, it's its own shithole. But you have to drive through PA.
I've been to Jersey. Jersey is a shithole.
I would be fine if I never went back to Jersey. The only reason I went was for the tournament.
Yeah.
It was a reachable tournament.
Yeah. I don't know that I really give a fuck about going back to the East Coast like that. Not that later.
I mean, I think every other part of the East Coast that I've been to is like very unique and sick, but that part sucks and I'll never go. Yeah, I've had unique experiences in like each part of that, but and even the unique experience I had in New Jersey and all that shit, it's just kind of like I walk out of my hotel in the morning and the next door hotel is on fire and I'm like, and then I like almost step on a needle on my way out of the hotel and I'm like, like, this is pissing me off. I gotta get out of here.
So what you're saying is pretty standard for Jersey.
Oh, for sure, but like, not interested. That's not my standard operating procedure for me. Like,
the first time I drove through Newark, I was like, what the fuck is that smell? Yeah. And they're like, that's just Newark smells like shit. And I was like, what do you mean Newark smells like shit? I'm like, this is like a huge city. They're like, yeah, it's New York's fucking shithole suburb. I'm like, all right, like gross.
You're like, darn.
And I've got like dudes that I know that were like from that area. And they're like, nah, it's fucking great. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, it smells like dumpster. Like,
but to the same effect, though, I think that's an attitude thing. Like, some people are like, I gotta get out of here, fucking, I gotta go. And some guys are like, this is the best, you know? Like,
yeah. Like,
respect to both.
Like, like, nothing wrong with home pride. But like, also, going back to COVID, because we talked about it already, I work with a bunch of people who fled that area during COVID because they were like, you can do nothing. And it was like, what do you mean? Like, they didn't have a life anymore. All their money was gone. and they're living in a place that's like less than 1,000 square feet with like multiple people, not just like one or two, like in 1,000 square feet. I'm talking like
Generations.
yeah, families on families. Like, what is this? The 1940s, and you're like watching your grandparents have sex in the middle of the room. Like,
You're like,
no,
oh,
like, whoa, grandma, put it away.
Yeah. Yeah, like I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Luckily, I moved Brooke in during COVID. So.
yeah.
Or no, I moved her in slightly before. Then COVID happened, and I was like, "You're stuck."
You're still with me.
Yeah. And then we got out of our shitty apartment into our current apartment.
Yes.
That was deep stress relieved. I was convinced it was gonna turn into The Purge, and like I was gonna get our door kicked in, and like I was gonna have to fucking, you know.
Hey, you did tell me that you guys lived in a pretty rough area, like when you first got together.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
It was interesting because it was like the second apartment. I was like, I'm like my jiu-jitsu salary, or like I was like, this is the house jiu-jitsu built, you know, like this is my thing, even though it sucked, but I was like, whatever, fuck it, it's 4 walls and a roof, whatever. And then I'm like, I bring Brooke into the situation. I'm like, oh, we need to improve this. Yeah. This is not where we should be settling. Like,
nope.
Yeah.
Nope, I fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then during COVID, obviously people were crammed up, and then people were starting behaving weird.
Oh yeah.
And like the way this apartment was set up, there was kind of like a courtyard parking lot situation. So people would just go out there and just start doing shit from like 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And it was just a mayhem like all the time because no one had shit to do.
Yeah.
So like we're packing up in the cover of night. Like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
like,
gotta get out of here. They're going to steal everything.
The last couple of weeks, I was like, the way COVID's going, the way all this shit, I was like, we can't stay here. Like, I don't like the way my brain is working. Like, we just have to go to my parents or something. I was like, to actually like sleep, because I was like, I'm in fight or flight, like just existing here. Like,
so good.
Yeah, it was not fun. And we got the fuck out of there. And now into our wonderful apartment that we're in now.
Yeah.
So hopefully the next piece will be a house or something like that. So, safe landing spot.
Yes.
Hopefully I can get a nice home.
Yeah.
One of these days. Not banking on it.
Takes time. Takes time.
But we'll see. I'll have to get a trailer on some land somewhere.
Could do that too.
That's a start.
Yeah.
I don't know how much she would like it, but
no,
it's a start. It was like actually hot today. It got hot.
It was nice though.
There was one day where it was in between, and then now it's hot.
Yeah. I actually enjoyed it.
It was great.
Yeah.
Broke a good sweat.
I was gonna say I wish I could have trained today.
It was nice.
I mean, honestly, the morning class, the strength and conditioning we did wasn't bad at all.
That was, I wouldn't say fun, but it was like nice. It was good.
I was definitely like loose when I went to work.
Oh yeah. That's the day I went on and I sat down for a while. I was like, my ankles. Fuck.
When I stood all day. Like I left, the longest seated I was in my car on my commute to work.
Yeah.
And then got out and I taught 2 new people, which typically means I'm standing for about 7 or 8 hours straight, maybe like 20 or 30 minutes to sit down and eat lunch. And so I taught all day. And it's like, man, my feet hurt from the running.
Oh yeah.
And so like while we were doing the Kentucky class, I reached up and like grabbed the outside edge of my foot and like went. It was like,
that's what we needed.
Yeah, that was really what it was. Like my foot was like crampy, and I was like, crunch. All right, we're good.
Got it.
Yep.
That's like one of my toes is like that right now. Mm-hmm. Like it gets all fucked up. I'm like,
yeah.
Give it a nice little Mel Gibson on the side of the wall, and then it goes back in, and it's happier.
Yeah, teaching all day is fun. Like I was super tired all day, but like going in there and just like, all right, this is what I got to do. I got to communicate this information like in the funnest way possible and like connect with these people. It kind of like livens me up. So
That's nice.
yeah,
That's nice when like you're like, I need a little boost, and then the people actually do it. You're like, nice.
yeah. Both people were really good. Like dealing with them, you never really know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Like I don't hire the people, so I'm kind of Rumpelstiltskin. Got to turn them bricks into gold.
Yeah. And that's why you're paid the big bucks. Turn turds into you turn cold turds on paper plates to hot shits on silver platters. And that's nice. What time we at?
I think we got a total of like 40 or 50 minutes.
It's not bad. Gotta piss again. Pause it.
Pause.
Was I keep it? You can't get stuck in an elevator with me.
You got to pick the P corner like right away.
Like, I would be instant. I'd be like, all right, guys, this is it. Look away. It's always been that way.
Same. Yeah.
Especially if I'm drinking twisties. I've taken road trips that were like 45 minutes. I'm like, shit. Well, missed time.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Mistimed my
Totally.
coffee and my everything. I'm like, yep, gotta pee.
That's probably it. You're caffeinated as well. That'll do it.
Especially in the morning. I get anxious in the morning. That first one just kind of like ramps me up. Drink coffee, just double ramp it up.
Yep.
And then I'm like, well, shit. Gotta freak out for a while, so.
When you drink a lot of like freshly roasted coffee too, so like the oils are there. So that's a strong diuretic, folks. Especially
is.
if you're drinking like custom like roasts and
Like
stuff
good
like that.
coffee.
Like stuff that's local that's been roasted within the last like day or two and packaged correctly.
Yeah.
You might have that emergency poop along with
Oh, God.
some peas. Yeah.
I took too much magnesium the other night.
Oh no.
Great. It's such a fucking, like, like,
Yeah.
like I've taken, like, I'm like, oh, this is about the same as last night. Dump it in. I wake up. I'm like, oh, no. Like, it's such a fine line. I'm like, oh, man, I slept great. Feel good. Everything's fine. Or it's like, fucking nuke.
Yeah.
Red line, 2 a.m.
You wake
run.
up, you're like, oh,
I'm like,
shit,
no.
Yeah.
So, great supplement. Gotta be careful with it.
Yeah. Much, much better than what's the other shit that people melatonin.
Yeah.
Way better
Yeah,
than
yeah.
melatonin.
I agree.
Melatonin will fuck with you. You'll wake up feeling like you're hungover.
Melatonin isn't as good as most people say it is. Like,
No.
there's a lot of studies coming out that are like, it's kind of fucking with you.
Not too much, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
because it's something your body naturally produces.
Yeah, anything you're taking in gummy form that your body naturally produces, and you're like, like that's a rough thing.
Yeah. Whereas magnesium is your body almost always needs it.
And 90% of Americans are magnesium deficient or some shit. So it's like, but if you do take too much, you'll know.
Shit your pants.
You're not doing jujitsu in the next hour. You'll know.
Yeah. Yeah. You will know. The powders can be deceiving.
The gummies have been more consistent.
Yes.
But I just have had a tub of the powder for a while, so I've been working on it.
Yep.
But again, a couple grains too much, and it's
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I know. Yeah. You get one scoop too many, and you're like, I'm gonna wake up and shit out everything.
you're like, I have ruined everything.
Yeah.
I have shit the bed. I do have the tendency to take it before bed, obviously, because I don't want to take it in the middle of the day and get drowsy. Like,
You'd be like, I'm gonna take some.
but like, there's mornings I wake up and I'm kind of like, I'm still sleepy. I took
Yeah.
too much.
Yep.
I'm shitting and I'm sleepy. oh no. Like,
Yeah, I've in the past I've taken too much, and I'm like on the toilet trying to sleep, like trying to like fold over, like you're like on the toilet, like
that's probably how Elvis actually died. Like, he just took way too much magnesium. He's like, and he got dehydrated and he cramped, and then he died. And that's history. It wasn't heroin.
it wasn't all the other drugs. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And the what is that fool's gold that he made, where he'd put peanut butter jelly and bacon inside an entire loaf of artisanal bread,
Yeah.
and then just eat it, like
Yeah.
bake it.
When you're that rich and famous and influential, like, you gotta fucking let it rip, though.
And obese.
He was. Yeah, sadly.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to be obese and on heroin and stuff, though.
Apparently.
I mean, he pulled it off.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
whatever. Unique
was-
cases.
But I think I don't think well, you gotta think too with like heroin, it backs you up.
True. And then you're munching fucking
Yeah,
bacon
you're
and
munch-
bananas and shit. No
You're
wonder
munching
he
on,
died.
Like, an entire loaf of bread.
You're
It's,
munching-
like this big.
No wonder. I would
And
die
he's, like,
too.
Buttered it up with peanut butter jelly and bacon.
Yeah, he corked himself.
Yeah,
And then he died.
you might as well have put it up the wrong end.
Yeah, like, what a way, you know?
So,
I did see one of his guns.
oh yeah,
He was a gun. He liked guns and shit. I saw a display, and the guy was talking to me as during
Yeah.
a thing. They're like, you know, it's Elvis's. Like, he would take his grips off and like write his name on the inside of his grips and then screw them back on.
okay,
Like, he had sweetheart grips on his Colt.
okay,
His, you know, like, he would switch out the grips to have like a picture on the grip,
yeah,
but he would always sign the inside of his grips.
nice.
So, like, they're like, oh, this is Elvis's gun. They're like, no, fucking isn't. And they took it off, and it said, and it had it signed in
sweet.
there. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like,
Like, oh shit, the king touched this.
yeah, that's pretty cool. I have a picture of it. I'll show you.
When I was in the Marine Corps, speaking to people that are overweight and on drugs that they shouldn't make them overweight, there's this dude who he was Navy, but like, so the Navy gets attached to like the Marine Corps and all that stuff, and he popped for cocaine, and he was like this shorter, like heavier set dude, and he, like, this isn't like third-hand information, he told me this. I was like, what did you tell him, like, when you went up for your like trial or whatever the fuck it is? And he's like, you know, I told him I was doing cocaine to lose weight. And I was like, what? Like, obviously not enough. Like,
You're like, you're just in the trial courses, right? Like,
yeah, like, what?
I would expect him to go like way harder the other way. Like, he's like, I snorted off some stripper's ass, and I fucking like, that's just, I don't know what happened. Like, I blacked out, Sarge.
Just like drunk at a fucking party with like some other squids and was like, did it off their boner. I don't fucking know.
However,
It's a Navy joke. Calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down. Yeah.
Oh, there's this dude on YouTube who like, he was in the military, but he also like breaks
Yeah.
down and like makes fun of all the branches like as characters within his skits, and it fucking I'll send him some to you, but Navy gets the worst of it, I'd say.
I have no doubt.
And Coast Guard. But
I feel bad for the Coast Guard sometimes because they were DOD for, I think they were like Department of Interior, DOD, and now they're Homeland Security. But they have some cool like functions.
yeah, people dog on them. There's cool shit for sure.
Yeah.
And when you're like, you lose your boat in some fucking lake or ocean, they're gonna be the ones that come fish your ass out, and you're like,
Yeah.
thanks, Coast Guard.
Or they pull you out of your like homemade submarine because you're smuggling drugs.
That too. Like, tell us where you're going.
Or you get out and you become Chris Costa and Dan's in Japan with a rifle. That's throwback. Sorry, Chris Costa. I don't know you at all. But it was funny.
It sounds sick.
He's like in front of a Japanese crowd, like doing like Chris Costa shit. Like essentially like dancing with his rifle, like stripper pole. Like, I'm not saying he's like not tactically proficient, because I've watched some of his shit and he totally is. But like the mechanics of like what he was doing, like it just didn't matter. He was like showing genes off with a rifle to Japanese people who are like, oh, you know, super respectful. Like that's just their like culture.
Yeah.
But like he was like basically dancing with a AR.
And they're like, this is America.
They were like,
like, this is so sick.
you know, like uber respectful as a crowd. But it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, well,
I'd be probably pretty hyped if I saw. I'd be like,
like,
yeah,
look at
dude.
that old white dude, dude.
like
So,
nice.
yeah. I mean, he's not a stripper, but
Like,
it's kind
do
of the
your
same thing. Like,
Like somebody's
Yeah.
happy.
you're like, some mom somewhere is real hyped about this.
Yeah.
I'll have to find the video. It was like funny back in the day because people were like giving him like a rash of shit. And it's like, nah, like he's just a gun guy. Like,
Gotta get them views, baby.
yep.
I like that gun. I like the way it looks in the middle of it.
It does.
It's good.
It's sweet.
It's solid.
I made sure to prop it back up.
Yes. Piece of cement. Yeah.
Yeah. That was part of it. Do you need a barrel? We need a drum.
A fire barrel would be sick.
The hobo heart.
People were super into like whiskey barrels and shit and all that for a few years. I just want a 55-gallon drum.
Yeah.
My dad got one of those,
Mm-hmm.
cut it in half, put hinges on it, and made a grill out of it.
Nice.
I want to do some shit like that. Crafts.
Craft.
Arts and crafts.
Crafts. Yeah.
But things that are functional. Things that will produce me meats.
Yeah, smoked meats or grilled meats. Yeah, for sure.
When I was a kid, I had like plans in my childhood backyard to like dig a barbecue pit. And like I was like fucking gonna do it. My parents sold their house, but
Childhood dreams ruined.
I was like 14. I was like, I'm gonna get into barbecue. Like I'm gonna be a barbecue guy in my parents' backyard. Didn't work out, but I do love barbecue.
Yeah, my brother has a sick fire pit in his backyard. It's like custom built into their like patio. Oh, this like sweet patio that like comes out of their back. There's like this sweet ass fire pit. And he has like, I think he has a metal grate that you can put over it to like grill stuff on.
My buddy is a welder, and he has a nice big fire pit in his backyard, and he has like a rollout like hanger. He'll hang a grate from it, he'll hang a flat iron from it, he'll hang a whatever, depending on what he's cooking, but like it's right over the fire. And like, I need that.
Yes.
If I can shoot a turkey before the wedding, we'll be munching turkey, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wedding meat.
Yeah.
Turkey.
That was my goal this year, was to get a deer in like February or so, like I did last year, so we could just spit roast a fucking deer. Like,
That'd be sweet.
but I didn't get that, so turkey's the next biggest bet. I still got some squirrels in the freezer. I won't feed many people though.
Here's the thing though. That'll make some sick wedding pictures if you spit roast some squirrels.
Yeah, that's true. If I can get like some just
Yeah.
a wild game section.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Sign the waiver, eat the wild game.
Meat. I'm honest to God, like I've never had a bad reaction to game meat. Like I've had, my stomach will tell me real quick if something's bad. So like, I've had things. I'm like, yes, up. Like, well, that's bad. Never yet, you know, knock on wood, but like haven't had a bad reaction yet. I feel significantly better. Like I sleep better, like all this shit.
Yeah.
Like there's something to it.
Yeah.
To the natures.
Yeah.
Natural meats.
Mm-hmm.
Even like over beef. Like I'll feel differently if I eat venison over beef.
I can see that.
Just due to the fat content.
Yeah, it's super lean.
Style of fat. Deer have a more like waxy fat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something you'd want to like reduce like you would like beef tallow.
Yeah. Like, one of the things I've noticed is, like, we've started eating more beef lately. And we used to get a lot of fucking bison. And I kind of want to go back to the bison.
I love bison.
Bison's so lean. It
Bison is
cooks up
tremendous.
better. Gets real, like, crunchy and, like, nice. Like, a nice, like, burn on it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of bison.
Yeah, dude.
I actually bought a bison heart from one of the farmers at a farmer's market. And I was like, give me the liver and the heart. And they're like, nice. That's not a usual order.
It's not, yeah.
And I was like, nope. And I munched up the meat and made it into tacos. Kind of like core it like an apple. You like cut the top off and then you kind of core it. So then, like, you get basically like a flat strip of meat, or like kind of like
Interesting.
a generally flat strip. And then you can kind of dice it and do whatever with it.
I'd eat that.
It's meat.
Yeah. You might know him. There's a dude that works in Hilliard, and he's a bison farmer too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I've talked to him
Yeah.
at the farmer's market.
Yep.
Yep, he's cool.
Yeah. He used to work at OSC with me.
Old feller?
Nope.
No?
Young dude.
Okay, then the guy I was talking to is an old feller. Maybe we're related, though, or something.
Probably. I know he has his family run stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, he used to work with me.
Yeah, no, bison is, like, where it's at.
But yeah, no, he's had a bison ranch for ever since I've known him, actually. I just didn't know it until after he, like, stopped working with us.
Yeah. That's sick.
Yeah. He's a busy dude.
Yeah.
Grapples a little bit here and there, too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Farms the bisons.
Yeah. He's busy as all get out.
There'll be a time where I farm animals. I've thought about starting small with rabbits in the apartment. Meat rabbits, you know.
Yeah.
And then I'd like to get some goats, chickens, ducks, things of that nature. Then I'd like to get some bigger ones. You know, like some cows, perhaps. Horses kind of scare me, but you know, if there's a nice horse, I'll take it.
Yeah.
A mule, donkey. Big fan of
Donkeys.
llamas, pigs.
One of my bosses has a donkey, and it's like his favorite animal.
I've seen a lot, and I like them.
Yeah, they're super chill. They're good protectors. They're kind of like a dog. Like, they're like very like loving and like stuff like that.
Mules are really good pack animals. They have better self-preservation than horses do. Like, they'll stay upright and not run off cliffs and all sorts of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that.
Yeah.
But that's part of it. There's a guy who like backcountry hunts out west with goats.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people use horses and mules and shit, but he's like, I take like 4 goats and we got it all done. I'm like, dude, that's sick. Like, mules and horses are big. That's a lot of stuff going on, but it's like you with a little army of goats just trotting along.
Yeah.
It's more my speed.
One of my bosses, like, he's raised goats since he was like a child, and he's a little bit older than me. He hates goats.
Everyone I've talked to that's like been around goats for a minute, they're like, I fucking hate them. And I get it.
They're dicks.
Yeah, I get it.
Like, they're super gross. Like, some of the stuff he's told me, like, they can tell when like a woman's like on her period and stuff like that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They'll like blow themselves essentially, and then like spit the ejaculate at somebody. Like, they're gross. Like, they're foul little animals.
All right, shoot the goats.
Yeah.
Let's get some donkeys and some other shit. Fuck
like,
that.
they're real gross. Like, he said they're just like huge pricks, and they're just disgusting, and they're real ornery. They'll like get out of everything, destroy everything.
That would change things.
Yeah, it does. Like,
Once I woke up and I was like not in the mood for that, I'd be like, dude, no.
Yeah, you'd be like, "Bah!"
like, fuck this,
Like,
dude.
you're delicious, but
Yeah. Cum guzzler.
you're like I got some goat. Like,
I don't know what he's been eating, but god damn it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That'd be where I draw the line.
Yeah, he said they're like just foul creatures. and like super obnoxious and hard to deal with. Like they like escape all the time.
I also heard they just die just so easily. Like they just like like, most of the time. Like so you can't get too attached to them.
I can't remember if I told you that or not. He was in a group and they were like talking about goat yoga.
Oh yeah.
And like, you know, they like bring in the baby goats and
all
that stuff, and it's super cute. Oh, we want to do goat yoga. And they asked him what he thought, and he said, "We eat goats on our farm."
Well, yeah.
And they were like,
"No."
And he's like, "What? We eat goats on our farm." Like he's a legit farmer. Like they're food.
Like, they're delicious. He's like, I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard line to cross, like, or draw or whatever, but as a farmer, they just have a totally different relationships with the animals than someone who does goat yoga. I mean,
yeah, like
1000% different.
His perception of animals in general is like, what do they do? Like, what's their purpose?
Are they working?
Yeah, like, you know, even dogs, like dogs are so like ingrained as a part of like comfort and stuff like that in like modern society. I mean, he's had one or two dogs like that, but like the majority of like when he thinks of a dog, he's like, what's its purpose?
Yeah, like how's this helping?
Yeah, not like, oh, it's my therapy dog. Like he's like, nah, is that dog gonna do something like herd some sheep or something?
Otherwise, get away from me.
Go work. Yeah. So I'll have to hook them up with you so you can decide what animals you want to raise.
Yeah.
He'll tell you the ones that are best.
He's like, get these ones, and these ones. I'm like, nice.
Yeah, literally. Perfect. Will. They'll be like, this is good. This is a pain in the ass. You'll want to kill this one. Like, don't do that.
Yeah. That's ideal. I need a catalog. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely will. Like, he knows. I mean, that's his life. Like, he grew up doing all that, still does it. Like, as he got older, like, they would do hay and stuff. But he got knocked off the back of his truck and broke his ankle. Like, baling hay and shit.
Yeah.
Loading up hay.
That'll do it.
Luckily, he's moderately athletic and knows how to fall. Otherwise, he probably would have died.
That makes a fucking difference. Talking about like getting to the black zone and operating. You're just like, fuck, you bounced the right way. Yeah. Some people bounce the wrong way. Yeah. And they get sucked up into the machine.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah.
I always listen to all sorts of YouTube stuff where they're like, 5 guys were like cave diving, and then some sort of pressure thing happened, and then one guy got vacuumed out and shredded into a million pieces, and like, as long as I can avoid that kind of death, like I'm cool.
Like I'm good.
I'm cool.
Old age would be good. Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's like they were underwater scientists, and one guy didn't depressurize into this thing, and then he was crushed instantly by the pressure. It's like, as long as I don't put myself in that situation, I think I'll be good.
I'm good. Yeah.
There's really no reason for me to be in that situation outside of a serious emergency.
That's very true.
Serious emergency.
Yeah.
If I'm in a cave, there's 10,000 other things that went wrong.
Yeah, for real.
If I'm underwater in a submarine,
cave, yeah.
A lot of shit went wrong. If I'm in outer space, a lot of shit went wrong.
We're just in the next Fast and the Furious movie.
Yeah. It's F-11.
Yes, they shot I'm into space within the first 5 minutes as opposed to the last 20.
But they would just do it like, I was like, the dogs and the cats and the monkeys that the Russians sent up in the fucking 60s and 70s. They'd just be like, holy fuck, he did it. And they just leave me.
Hey, you're an extra character. We're going to shoot into space first and see if that goes well.
It's be so sad.
Because cars are airtight.
Yeah. The new Acura fucking airtight. This thing, airtight.
The new Acura.
Like your butthole.
Yeah.
Airtight, not your butthole. It's probably loose. All right, we got to sign off. I'm starting to get a little testy.
I think we're a little too.
I'm getting a little testy.
Maybe a little. All right. Good night, folks.
Good night.